Thank you very much for staying tuned to the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. My name is Cecil Medley, and you're watching us live from the studios of the NTA headquarters here in Abuja. The program is the Medley Show, and today we'll be talking about what I will call care of the elderly. Now, I said that before the program, and one of my guests told me that no, they don't use that word anymore. Anyhow, she'll get to explain to us as we get to continue. For now, permit me to stick with the elderly until she gets to tell us why we should, call them something else, maybe like seniors, like they say in some other parts of the world. All right, just before we go on to talk about it, the AMVCA awards held over the weekend that just passed, and a couple of people were given awards and were acknowledged. But just before we get to meet the most recent of these awardees, I want us to talk about the Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, the Lifetime Achievement Award at the AMVCA is usually given to seniors, to older persons in the industry who have done so well. In the last two editions before this one, we had Buki Ajayi, late Buki Ajayi. She received the award, and she had done so well in the industry. Many of those in the industry actually commended and applauded her work, so she got that award of the AMVCA. Yes, there she is with her award live on air. So it's always good to celebrate the seniors in the different field, maybe not just in Nollywood. All right, moving on next. After that, we had Olu Jacobs. Yes, that's Olu Jacobs and his wife, Jackie Silver. He actually received the one before this, and he was also celebrated so much. I don't know how true, but I actually understand that he has dementia. Maybe my guests on the set know about it, and they will tell us about it. But he's one that we actually all look forward to getting to watch him on screen. He's done so well for the industry. And, that's Olu Jacobs. I think that's one of the times when and his wife is always there to support him. Always giving support to these older persons is very, very important. And just at the weekend, we had Taiwo Ajayi Licensed. Taiwo Ajayi Licensed received the latest one, the Lifetime Achievement Award at the AMVCA. Yes, she's quite aged, and she came on stage and actually had some words for the thousands of fans who are actually gathered there. So maybe we just hear a clip of what she has to say, and then we'll kick off with the program proper.
This is a crowning glory, I will call it. This is the summit, the zenith of my career. I have been given a Lifetime Achievement Award.
All right, that was Taiwo Ajayi Licensed at the AMVCA just concluded. Well, this is the Medley Show, and today we're talking about the care of the elderly. And I have my guest with me. And let me start with the Senator. All right, Senator Eze Darlington Ajoku. Senator is the president of the Coalition of Societies for the Rights of Older Persons in Nigeria, COSROPIN. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
COSROPIN, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, for some reasons, I've never really heard of COSROPIN. Just until I started trying to work. Yes! When I say that, some people look at me like, seriously? Yes, that look, they give it to me. Anyhow, I'm glad that you're here with us. Thanks for coming around.
Thank you.
All right, completing our number here, I have the head of geriatric medical unit of the National Hospital, Dr. Ogugua Osiogbu.
That's correct.
Yes, thank you for coming around, doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming around. I listened to your interview with Willie on Wazobia FM. You attempt at speaking pidgin.
Well, don't go there.
Okay. All right. Just before we start, let's just clear this. I was talking about the elderly, and you mentioned that you were a little not so comfortable with use of the word elderly, but come on now, it's elderly now. Right.
Okay, so we think that you're almost saying that once you cross that age, aging is a blessing. Mm-hmm. We all pray to get old, mm-hmm. but we do not want to be stigmatized. So internationally, all over the world, people agree that the word elderly could connote negativism. And we want to look at aging, older persons, as in a positive light. So we rather use older adults, older persons, seniors, rather than the word elderly, because you're only older than the next person.
Okay.
So we use those terms to describe those who are 60 and above, 60.
Okay, good. I was just going to ask you the age range of the older adults. The older adults starts from the age of 60. From 60. Okay, that's from the age when you retire.
Right. Okay. Exactly. That's basically how it came about. That this is the time when governments feel okay. We do not want to continue to pay full salary to our citizens at this age, so you retire them, but it doesn't mean that they can no more contribute. And that's what we want to change. We want to change the way we look at aging and the older persons, put a positive twist to it, because older persons still have a lot of fuel in their tank to continue to contribute to society, and we want to tap that. We want to harness that.
All right, Senator Ajoku believes that the older persons also have a lot of fuel in their tank. Yes, I just okay. Let me just tell you, I was he has.
Graceful Aging.
Now, what's that the fellowship called?
Graceful Aging Fellowship.
Graceful Aging Fellowship. They had a fitness session on Saturday. I came around there, and I was quite interested seeing quite some older people doing some of the things that many of us young people would ordinarily not do. But just before we get to talk that, tell us about very briefly cost roping. Yeah, cost roping, I understand. I don't know how true it is. It's part of what actually birthed the agency the government created for the seniors. Just give us a brief on cost roping so we can get our focus.
Well, cost roping is the Coalition of Societies for the Rights of Older Persons. That's the full name. And it's a gathering, let me use the word gathering, because coalition is a gathering, of various NGOs, CSOs, retirement groups, academicians, gerontologists, everybody working on aging.
On aging.
We came together because before 2016, we were in our different cells doing what we know best. Like my organization, which is Graceful Aging. Then we felt there was need for a louder voice so that we can nationally advocate for the rights and privileges of older persons. And that was how cost roping was formed. And we started from membership of 13 members, CSOs. Right now we're about 122. All right,
across the country.
Across the country.
Wow.
We have zones and have state members and all that. And our efforts have paid off in so many ways. In 2016, we were in the National Assembly, at the public hearings, advocating. We were looking for an older persons commission.
Okay.
All right, but you know how the bills go from here to there. It ended up becoming a senior citizen, National Senior Citizen Center bill.
National Senior.
The president signed it off in 2017, and after signing it off, it became very quiet. All right, but when we were now formed as a coalition, to be honest with you, I went to National Assembly and said there was a bill approved for older persons. I put it out, and cost roping executives took it to the Minister of Humanitarian when they were formed.
Oh yes.
And then we had a meeting with him, coupled with the policy on aging, which we had worked with all the groups, all stakeholders, with Ministry of Women Affairs, which had also been completed and was sitting there. We took those two documents to the Minister for Humanitarian. Yeah. And she was excited. I think it was
just sometime last year that it was finally.
Yes. Okay. So she was excited, and she promised us she was going to do something about it. And before long, she got the president to approve the board for the Senior Citizen Center, which cost roping is a member of the board. And then the board has been.
So you're a member of the board now?
No, a member of cost roping.
You're a member of cost roping. Okay, cost roping has a representative.
A representative
at
there.
the board.
Yes,
okay.
at the board.
Oh, you're in the board.
My association is also
Your
the
association.
Geriatrics
Yes.
Association of Nigeria.
Okay, okay. Okay, now we'll go straight into talking about how the elderly, many of the issues that older persons get to experience. There are many times that, yeah, the younger ones are not working in town, the older ones are in the villages, so sometimes they cannot move and they're just tired, they are just becoming a burden. We'll talk about all that, but first of all, let's take a look at this feature which talks about life expectancy. Life expectancy. I mean, I checked the survey online from United Nations as of 2020. I realized that out of the 123 countries on the list, Nigeria is on 190, and I screamed like, what? All right, let's take a look at this feature very quickly, and then we'll get to talk a little more. Don't forget our phone line is 081 177 82020. That's our number. You can send us a message and tell us any question you want to ask about the older persons, or if you're an older person yourself, do send us a message on that number. All right, let's take a look at this feature, and then we'll be right back.
From one continent to another, life expectancies differ and infrastructure varies. According to the 2020 Life Expectancy Ranking of Worldometer.info, a data collection site, Asian countries occupy the top 3 positions in longevity. Hong Kong tops the list with a life expectancy of 85.29 years, which is significant due to proper diet and access to adequate health facilities. Japan comes very close with 85.03 years, and Macau with 84.68 years. For Japan, a proper diet like fruits and vegetables, fresh meat and fish, and grain-based foods are taken to their advantage, while Macau attributes its success rate to a clean environment and air, easy access to healthcare, excellent education, and a strong economy. However, countries like Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States are placed in 27th, 29th, and 46th positions, respectively. America spends far more on health than any other country in the world, yet the life expectancy of the American population is shorter than many other advanced nations with less budget. Unlike countries in Asia, Americans have a high rate of obesity, homicides, suicides, and smoking. In Africa, Algeria tops the life expectancy table at the 63rd position with 77.50 years. The North African country is followed by Morocco at number 66 with 77.43 years, and Tunisia at 68th place with 77.36 years. Africa's giant Nigeria is placed 190th on the list of 193 countries, with a life expectancy of about 55.8 years. The country's budget for the health sector far surpasses other countries in the continent. If indeed life begins at 40, then Nigerians may just have 15 years to start living, while their contemporaries in Asia can boast of 45 years of healthy living. With Nigeria at the bottom of the life expectancy rating, the question is, why? Can these be rectified? Are there plans to move up the ladder? And how can this be done? On the Medley show with Cecil today, we will explore the life of the senior citizens of Nigeria, their lifestyle, diet, and general well-being.
Okay, so our life expectancy is 55. Doctor, 55. And we have Japan about 85.
88, if you're female.
Yes, so...
Right, so...
What are we doing wrong?
While that looks bad,
yeah, it's bad.
I think we should still celebrate because it's improving. It used to be in the 40s.
Yes.
Yes. It used to be 48, 46, so it is gradually improving. And things are looking up. for older persons in Nigeria. You heard the senator mention earlier, we now have a national policy on aging. We have what could be described as a commission, but that is in charge, that's mandated to cater to all of the needs of older persons. And I know that the NSCC is really poised to do that. So there's a lot of reasons for us to be forward-looking, to be encouraged that aging in Nigeria is definitely going to get into a better place.
Okay, aging in Nigeria hopefully gets to a better place. Well, if it's from the aged, is it good? No, okay,
No,
that is
older
also not.
persons, yes.
Oh my God, please tell us the words that are, okay, good, older persons, seniors, what else?
What you have to
Older adults.
the way you need to look at it.
Older adults.
So Cecil, the way you need to look at it is, when you're 70, how would you like to be described? How would you like to be addressed? Because it's
funky.
easy for us to see, exactly, funky. It's easy for us to sit back now and look at, those older persons. And a lot of us are not very far from there. So you have to sort of personalize it. How do I want to be addressed? How do I want to be looked at when I'm old?
Okay, food for thought. How would you want to be looked at when you're older? Don't forget our phone line is 081-177-82020. Senator Ajo could tell us, you work with a whole lot of the seniors.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you think or you see that they face after 60 as seniors?
Well, if you mean 60.
Okay, well, for the seniors, what are some of the challenges?
Yeah.
Okay,
The first challenge when you become 60 and you are working for government is that government retires you without health insurance.
Okay, when the retirement,
Once you retire,
that health insurance is cut off.
cut off. The very day you retire from government, your insurance is cut off. So you have no health coverage.
Okay,
So that's a very big challenge.
that's not good.
The next big challenge is that they send you home, and for the next 1 year and a half, you do not get any money until they have done all the bureaucracies and your paper approved and all that. That's only when you get money. If you are lucky to survive, then you'll be alive when you get your money. If you are not lucky and you die 61 or 60 plus, you have nothing. So when you start looking at it from that point of view, for those who work for government, that is a very big issue. Okay? Thereafter, you even start struggling for the money you saved while you were working, because your pension is a savings, and then later you find it's so difficult to get it paid, especially now in the states. The federal government is doing a little bit better, but in the states they don't really care about you.
Okay, so this commission, is it a commission?
The
or agency?
NSCC?
Yes,
Right.
the center, does it also
Right.
take care of the states, or is just for those working on the national, for some of the benefits of the retired?
The National Senior Citizen Center,
Yes.
is promulgated by law or the federal government.
Okay. So
And state governments have been asked to queue into it.
yeah.
But what is happening now is that a genuine effort is being made to consciously bring the states into it. And that is what is happening.
Right.
Okay. Now let's look at health challenges now of some of the older persons. I know I just mentioned Olu Jacobs, dementia. That's memory loss too, right?
Right.
That's
That is
memory
memory
loss. There is the Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is
Right,
also
so Alzheimer's is a type of dementia.
Okay.
And so with dementia, it's not just memory loss, but it's also eventually...
what's the umbrella name?
It's dementia.
Dementia.
Or
Okay. They're
cognitive impairment.
Okay.
And there are 4 different types. Alzheimer's is the commonest type, particularly in the Caucasian or the Western world. We also have the vascular type of dementia, which we tend to find in this environment. So if people have had diabetes, hypertension that have not been well managed, so dementia just comes from the fact that brain cells are lost. Aging is a major risk factor for dementia. because we lose brain cells. It's degenerative.
It's
And
natural.
that brain cell loss is accelerated in certain conditions. So hypertension that we didn't manage well, diabetes that wasn't managed well, people who have mini strokes that lose a lot more brain cells than they would have just from aging. So aging is a major risk factor. If we look at people 80 and above, compare them to those who are between 60 and 80, a lot more in the 80 and above bracket would have dementia. So it's a major concern, and we really need to educate people to identify it and know how to approach people with that condition.
Yes, and we'll also take a look later as I continue about your diet. But let's take a few messages coming in already. Please write your name and where you're writing from. I have an older mother. I have an adult as a mother. Of course, your mother must be an older adult as a mother, of course. There are some things she'll do that are disgusting and risk of health. If I try to explain to her that it is wrong, she will disagree, saying that I have no right to correct her. She doesn't listen to my counsels concerning her health. In cases like this, what can I do in order to let her understand that certain things are not right?
Okay.
Who wants to go? Okay.
So first is that we use positive words. The negative thing there is the word disgusting. And I can imagine if you were able to come up with such a word, I hope you are not saying it to your mother. It's really important that we come from the point of empathy and compassion. What older adults are dealing with is already putting them in a state of anxiety, in fact sometimes loneliness, because they don't want to come and even share what their problems are. And some of them get into a place of depression because they deal with what we describe as multi-morbidity, multiple things going on. The same person has high blood pressure, diabetes, joint issues that make them have difficulty with walking. They might have glaucoma that makes vision a problem. Hearing, so in the one individual, all of this could be happening. And so you can't expect such a woman to walk as fast as she would have 5 or 10 years ago. Her vision is failing, so you must declutter the environment so she doesn't fall. So we need understanding from the younger people. And we also must realize that older persons, yes, they depend on us now because of these challenges. We still need to give them sovereignty, that opportunity to make decisions on their own.
Yeah, but many times, especially if for the ones who drink, they'll tell you that, oh, we've been drinking in my family, nothing has happened to us. My older brother drank until he was 92.
Right.
And,
right, so it's really advice. You advise, show them evidence. This is what the doctors are saying. This is, that would happen if you drink so much. But you really can't be nasty to them. Just because you want them to change. No, it is still their decision at the end of the day. But you bring forward the information for their benefit.
For their benefit. Okay. Good afternoon. I am Oyetunde.
Okay.
Sorry, is this for you, right? Okay, just
I
after
wanted
that,
to add to that.
Please.
Remember that older persons have been parents who make decisions on your behalf. That is, they say things and you do it. Now they are old. If you do not talk to them in the manner she has suggested, she will be revolting within, because she used to be the authority.
I know.
Now you are taking over the authority and telling her what to do in your own words. And because she's dealing with all these other issues, she will not take kindly to it. Especially if she does not read you as showing love to her or meeting her needs. He or she will be revolting in anything that you say. So we have to bear some of these psychological issues they are battling with in mind.
All right, then that question was from Osita Dimma, John Hercules Odogu, and he also added a line, another sentence that's, I think it's rude and I wouldn't want to say on TV. Doctor, let me, Senator, let me give you this question. Good afternoon. My name is Oyetunde Joshua from Oyo State. My question is, what are the major exercises that an elderly person can engage in?
Well, an elderly person has to be careful in exercising because some of the joints are not as flexible as when a younger person is exercising. You must be careful with things that affect your hip or waist. All right, so light exercises are recommended. We recommend for older persons walking. They should walk. If you can swim, you can swim. Then you swim.
Swim.
Swimming is good for older persons. Walking is very good. Running and bouncing is not very good for older persons, for their bones and joints. All right? Raising hands, moving the legs gradually. Dancing is an exercise, you know. So we'll encourage a lot of older persons to dance. But if they are as fit as some of the people you saw that day in the exercise, you interviewed an 83-year-old man, an 82-year-old man, and 70-something. Of course, I am the coach. I am 75 this year, and I do all the jumping, but I cannot ask another older persons to do it.
You know what? I would enjoy my dad to also do something like this, because, yeah, I should get to be more active. All right, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to take the next feature, and our next feature is taking a look at the fitness session that Senator Ajoku just talked about, which holds every Saturday. That's the Graceful Aging Fellowship. Let's have a look at it, and it's put together by Ebere, and then we'll talk a little more. Keep your messages coming in. Our phone line once again is 081 177 82020.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, elbow. 1.
Tell us a little bit about GRAF and COSROPIN.
GRAF was set up for healthy aging, to ensure that older people live healthy. We teach the need for people to age gracefully, live long and healthy. And this is our 13th year. We have done this. Once we finish exercise, people are allowed to swim and continue the exercise. We teach people how to age gracefully, live long through lifestyle changes. So COSROPIN is working on the general need of older persons in all aspects of life, while GRAF is specializing in their health. We're looking at every aspect of their health.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When we come to GRAF, we benefit in 3 things. We are happier, we are healthier, and we are stronger. And it improves our well-being and keeps us lively all through the week, and then we return another Saturday and we keep feeling excited.
We do exercises as you watched us do today, and it's a very good thing. When you get home, you feel you've really gone through a health innovating job for the day.
We do exercises, and we are also educated on our bodies, how to keep them, how to maintain them, how to make sure that we keep fit, so that we can resist diseases. We don't fall prey to all sorts of diseases.
I would say that there's a lot to gain. You can see us doing our exercises, and we do that weekly, every Saturday. Apart from that, we also have the spiritual angle, which we do every Monday, where we do Bible study on certain topics in the Bible, which ordinarily you may not get in church.
It was actually an exciting time watching these elderly people having a time of their life. I mean, how can you be so old and that's Good. Wow. It's really amazing, and it pays to live a healthy life. Maybe if you are an elderly person, just join a group. Try and join a group like this. It pays.
All right, thank you very much, Ebere, for that one. Next time, I think you should try to join them in the session. It's going to be very good. It's not just a fitness session for the elderly. Elderly, did I say elderly? It's going to take me a while. I don't know, for the older person.
Person.
All right, Otumba for Zaria. Government should please provide health recreational facilities. Okay, recreational facilities. That's good, right?
Right, so that's actually part of what the NSCC will be looking at, being able to provide a center where older persons can gather, interact with themselves, learn new vocations, share experiences, because that's what happens in other climes, where you have senior citizen centers where senior citizens can go in. If it's carpentry you want to learn, if it's bead making, if it's music, and it's just a platform for engagement. What I find now in my clinic is when I say to a client, "Oh, Mama, so we'll see you in 3 months." "Ah, doctor, that's too far," because that clinic visit is a social outing. So, but if there was a center where such an individual could go once a week, twice a week, or every day if they like, it takes away that burden of loneliness and social isolation.
There is a good center in Ekiti State now. Very beautiful center. Sports, recreational facilities, restaurant.
For seniors?
Clinic for yes. Very large area in Ekiti State. It's an example of what every state should do, for their seniors.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's very good.
And what we are trying to backfill from here, from cost-dropping, is that we're doing what you call older persons hangout.
Nice.
So we invite them out to an environment, and then we do their vitals. Doctors see them, they dance, they sing. We play draft, all those games they played.
Very quickly.
We have
to do that very quickly. I'm already liking it.
Yes,
I mean, people would not be so afraid of.
We do it, and we ensure that they can socialize and network. It's a way of bridging the gap.
Okay, what you're saying, just listen to this engineer Festus from Akure. His question: how can one register with National Elderly Council? Well, I think it means...
what it means, national senior citizens. Okay, you don't register with them.
Okay.
Even the Coalition of Societies for the Right of Older Persons, we don't accept individual membership.
Okay.
It's corporate membership. If you are an NGO or a CSO working on aging, then you become a member. All the people you are working with are automatic members.
Okay.
So we have a state coordinator in Akure, and I could give you the contact later. He can join their association.
Is there a website where we can get the contact of many of these?
Yes, yes, but I don't have it.
But you don't have it now. Okay,
yes.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe before the end of the program we can get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Actually, the NSCC is coming up with state stakeholder consultative groups. So that's going to eventually happen every state, and that's the way they actually want to ginger activities at the state level. So all the different stakeholders in aging will be formed into a consultative forum per state, and that's the kind of thing that Mr. Engineer Festus can actually participate in for his state.
All right, let's
And talking about the centers,
yes,
Osun State in Elisha, they've built a beautiful geriatric center that would offer not just medical services but also a platform for the social engagement.
Online, how can they get to reach that? Maybe later you get it for us if you can. Okay, let's take a couple of these questions because there are so many coming in already. Good afternoon, Cecil. My greetings to your two guests. Where does one get registered in Osun State? This is Lekon. Lekon, you've heard that. Hopefully we'll take care of that before the program ends. What is the effect of sugar and carbohydrate on old age? Lamidi from Kaduna. Let's remember that. Right. I greet you all. I'm enjoying this program. Thank you very much. Who is this? Okay, it's not an incomplete message. Good afternoon. Johnsley Ayo from Delta State. Please, how can we take care of the elderly ones in the villages? So obviously maybe he's in town and the parents are in. Yeah, I know it's a common thing. We all go to the town for greener pastures and the elderly ones are there.
Yes.
Right.
You know, so how can they get to do that? Because sometimes when you send someone to take care of you, realize that they are not taking care of your parents as you would have. So they're asking that question.
It's become a national problem.
Right.
Because even when you have people you hire to do that, they don't do very good jobs. Some convert the money you send to them for your mother to themselves. Our former Secretary General was sending money regularly to the mother. Anytime she wanted to talk to the mother, the maid would say, the person he hired would say, your mommy is sleeping. Until she now got home and found that the mother has been stabbed, because when they give food to the mother and the mother complains, the person will take it away. If you don't want to eat, you know, I will eat it. So it's become a national problem. And what is happening now is that a lot of groups are coming up, providing care facilities, trained nurses. There are some of our members, both in Ilorin and other places, that are now beginning to train people who will be able to provide home care. And again, the person also needs to try and hire someone to live with the older person in case the person is lonely. My mother is going to be 104 this year.
Your mother?
My mother is, yes, my mother.
Yes.
My mother is 104 this year. And she used to stay with my junior sister. Okay, but my junior sister goes for her daily bread. The children go to school. My mother ends up staying alone. All right?
Okay, I was just even coming to that question. Some people feel like, okay, my parents are not being taken care of well in the village. Come to town, come and stay with us. But somehow they come to town because they've lost out on that whole family and the closely knit thing in the village. They are now feeling so alone in town. They now get sickness. They cannot go anywhere. And
my mother used to experience that visiting me. But she found a way to get out of it, and it's working, and that's what I'm recommending. From my mother's experience, I relate to other people. How did my mother find a way? My mother would come out and sit with the security men at the gate, watching traffic and talking. I would come out and see my mother talking with them, laughing and all that, and I would ask Mama, what are you people talking about? My mother doesn't speak English, she doesn't speak Hausa. But I see her interacting with my security men, because about 2 or 3 of them sit down together there. And she will say, we are discussing. She won't tell me what they are discussing, but she found a way of socializing.
I know.
So she's no longer lonely, locked up with the TV. She's now interacting. And that is what some of these centers will do when government implements them. We've been advocating for government to establish daycare centers for older persons in Abuja or other cities, so that in the morning, like some of these centers that are being built, they can go there, interact, you know, with themselves, and by the time they get home, they feel renewed and invigorated.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see how much of this message is. Okay, well,
I mean, the other thing about the rural older adults in the rural spaces, I think the churches and so community-based organizations, faith-based organizations have a big role to take care of that. I mean, we need to go back to how it used to be in those days, where your neighbor actually, you know, watched out for you. And we've lost that.
Can we get back?
Because the insecurity issues, we no more trust. Right. But I think the churches and the mosques really have a role. They can harvest the youths within those organizations.
Yeah, and also
that they can
realize
be
that
trained.
There are even older people. Once they start getting to that age of the older persons, they go to church more often. They are a little more religious. So now that is, like you say, that's the place where they can go socialize. That's where they can meet people. That's an excuse to leave the house.
Right. And the older persons who are still functional can actually act as volunteer caregivers to the ones who are frail. And because they are, in the same cohort, they are more understanding, they're more likely to be more compassionate when they're caring for these frail older ones. So there's a lot that can be done, and I'm aware that the NSCC leadership is really trying to collaborate with all of these different groups at the community level. Also for us to make our primary healthcare centers more functional, so that, again, at the primary healthcare centers is not just providing healthcare, but also that social service of platform for engagement.
All right, let's take a couple of your messages and then we'll talk a little more. Well done, Cecil. I've been waiting for your program to commence because I can't afford to miss it. Lekon from Abulegba. Oh, Lekon, thank you. All right, Joshua Oyetunde from Osun State. I want to ask, what are those specific diets that an elderly person must avoid? Okay, now we have a couple of questions here, Doc, and Senator, on diet. Diet. I've seen a couple of this, so let's just take all your diet questions. Right. What can they avoid, and what should they? What's good for them?
All right, good. So everybody, not just the older persons, must avoid these 3 nutrients of public health concern: refined sugar, excess salt, and what we describe as trans fats.
All right, now break it down in English.
Okay, so refined sugar meaning, your cake, your Coke, your Fanta, malt, all of that contains sugar that once you ingest them, your sugar level goes up so rapidly, and that can be toxic for our blood vessels. Aging is a big risk factor for developing diabetes, for developing high blood pressure. So when you already have established diabetes or that risk of developing diabetes, and you're eating food that is high in refined sugar, it makes even the control of your diabetes worse.
Okay, what sugar is safe then?
So we want carbohydrate that is complex, that we eat in the form of, when you eat your small piece of yam, it has to be broken down in the body to eventually become simple sugar. So we want carbohydrate that is not that is complex. Having said that, our meal should contain more fruits and vegetables and proteins and less of the carbohydrate. And even when we say proteins, the protein source should be more of plant-based proteins and not animal-based proteins. So really, everyone should make this healthy diet a way of life, so that as we get older, we remain healthy and we do not develop this lifestyle-related diseases, hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, that can eventually be complicated by stroke, heart attacks, and we know that these are things that cause premature deaths in persons who suffer them. So diet should be rich in vegetables. Every meal should really, so I always recommend to my patients, eat like a prince or a princess.
Oh, that's tough.
Right.
Yeah,
so every meal, have a salad, have a little bit of a bowl of soup. Once you have those two, you're already getting quite full. Before you get to your, if it's the rice you want to eat, a very small portion. So portion control, really important. Also for the purpose of maintaining what we call an optimal body mass index. BMI. Once we can have an optimal body mass index, it reduces that chance of developing high blood pressure, diabetes, and those complications that can come from that. And of course, when people have a high BMI, they are more likely to also develop very severe joint issues. Again, aging is a major concern for developing degenerative joint disease, so arthritis of your knees, of your hips, of your shoulders.
Doctor, you are speaking very fine grammar.
When I say degenerative, it means is a wear and tear.
No, when you talk about, you have to eat salad, you have to eat this, you have to eat that. Oh, it's so really nice. Tastes really nice. So, for someone that's going to eat that is within the budget, I mean, I wonder how that can actually.
So, this is not about the funding alone.
Okay.
So you're So F4.
Okay. Yeah. If you
garden eggs can be your salad. So So, but the thing is, you must eat more and more and more and more of veggies.
Okay.
And less of the carbohydrate containing food.
All right. I'll come to you shortly. But Kapsi Joshua, talking about diet, she took a trip. She got into the home where there are the older persons, and she tried to understand what kind of diet they eat. So she put this together, and I thought, okay, let's have a look at it.
It has always been a dream of children to see parents live to ripe old age in good health. Nonetheless, as they grow old, their body becomes weak, and there are physical and psychological challenges. These elderly ones will be dependent on their children or caregivers. These include memory loss, failure of sight, and adoption of new diets. As strength and stamina fail, help must definitely be needed.
Here at Paul Kutishe's home, their aged mother and father came visiting.
What kind of food do they eat?
Well, my mother-in-law, she can decide. You know, you can't cook without asking her what she wants. Because there are sometimes if you cook food and drop for her, she will tell you that she doesn't want to eat. So we ask her, what does she want? Then she will tell us before we prepare it for her. While my father-in-law, we ask him, he says it's custard that he wants to take. And this afternoon, she says she wants to take vegetable, while he's taking ogbono soup. So I have to kind of make 2 meals in the morning, afternoon, the same thing based on what they want to eat, because we really want them to eat well. And for her, she doesn't take red meat or fish. It's only the kidney, heart, or liver. Already her tomatoes, because she doesn't take pepper. Any sliced pepper inside her food, she will tell you that, Mama, I will not take this pepper. So we have her pot, special pots for her. That's for only my mother-in-law. But like my father-in-law, he eats pepper. I don't have a problem with that. So her pot is separate. We are not going to prepare her meal. I'll pack the meat, then put my tomatoes as usual in the fire. So I finish frying my tomatoes. For the vegetable to be greenish, we'll parboil water a little with a little of potash so that the green will become very greenish. You can see it's already greenish. I'll now wash the vegetable. So I'll now put it back to the pot for cooking. I'll now put her meat, the portion that it will be done for this very soup. I don't really put salt because I parboiled the meat with salt already. So it's just this Maggi that. So now the soup is ready because you don't allow it to overdone. It's already cooked with that potash that I've done.
Okay, so grandma's soup is ready, and this soup is a little soup. You forgot to put the momo in the soup.
Well, grandma likes momo very well as well. She said we should slice the momo for her, cut the okra for her, and keep it that she wants to come and make it by herself. And I cannot imagine because she cannot stand straight.
What are we making for grandpa?
Well, grandpa doesn't have really any problem. Anything goes. Like now we've prepared ogbono soup for him, which is very okay with it. The only thing is the meat. He doesn't take red meat or fish, so it's the kidney that we use for him.
All right, let's go to the dining where we'll have a taste of all these delicacies. Okay, so the table is set, and so can we invite them to come eat here?
Well, like grandma cannot come down here because she can't. The table is a little bit high for her. She has a seat. She sits in the parlor to eat. It's only grandpa, father-in-law that comes here to sit and eat on the dining. So, like her, I have to go and serve her where she's sitting so that she will take her own meal there.
My specific food is Polish grain. And then along with the Samovita, it's no problem. And like breakfast, I take custard with milk, but no sugar. But normally I don't take anything as regarding sugar. I don't. Won't you join me?
No. Thank you so much, Baba. No, I won't join you. Just enjoy your meal. All right, so diet changes from persons to person. So it is important that you know a specific food that is suitable for the older people and give it to them at that particular point in time.
Thank you very much, Captain Joshua. I really would have wanted us to talk a little about that, because you see the woman of the house, she says she has to cook for two meals every day. In fact, plus the family want 3 meals. Oh my God, so I really don't envy her. But we really don't have so much time again. We really need to end the program at this point. I'm sorry, I see all your messages and I can't take as many of them. But you know what? For those of you asking where you can register your aged parents or the older ones around you, you go through the Cosropin website, which is cosropin.org. Is actually on air at the moment right now. Cosropin.org, www.cosropin.org. All right, so Cosropin, you can go to the website, check it out, and hopefully you get some information on the different societies, the different groups that make the coalition, and you can see how to register your parents. I will also post it on our WhatsApp status so you can get to see it later on. Doctor, thank you very much. And the last word from you.
Right, so everyone, as they're getting older, to ensure that healthy lifestyle is a way of life. Adequate sleep, eat right, exercise. We want people to have 150 minutes of brisk walking every week. That translates to about 30 minutes at least 5 times a week. Social connection, avoiding all of these toxins, tobacco, excess alcohol, excess salt, refined sugar, and the trans fats.
All right, stay healthy. That's very important. Right. Last word from me, very quickly.
Well, also the mental health of an older person is very, very important. Relationship with husband, wife, children, and all that is also important. The things that they are thinking, that's why a lot of older persons become very religious, so as to cast their burdens on God. So you find that mental health is very important for all older persons, so that they are not angry all the time, which will increase their blood pressures, and and they should be encouraged to take their medications.
All right, so very importantly, watch the way you get to communicate with them, and it helps a whole lot in helping them live a very healthy life. Thank you very much, Dr. Ogugwa Osiebu, Head Geriatric of the National Hospital, and Senator Ajoku, thank you very much for coming around. And that's how we'll say bye-bye on the Medley Show today.